Seafood is a Christmas staple on tables across Australia and many brave fish markets to get the freshest stock. A 36-hour seafood marathon is now underway at Sydney Fish Market at Pyrmont. And joining me live is Gus Dannon from the Sydney Fish Markets. Gus, good morning. Thanks for joining us. How many people are you expecting through the doors between now and Christmas lunch?
If we don't top 100,000, I'd be very surprised. I think we'll do that quite comfortably this year, given last year we actually did it quite very easily, actually. So we expect similar numbers this time round.
So what makes it a marathon? Are you staying open all night?
Oh, yes, no, the shops now won't close until 5 p.m. tomorrow, so it's on in earnest. You know, this is our 29th year of running this event, and it is actually an event. It's no longer just a shopping event. It's actually quite a significant event. A lot of planning goes into the day like today and tomorrow. So the crowds, as you can probably see behind me, they've already started to flock through.
Yeah, I can see it. It is early and there are plenty of people there. What are the top recommendations this year?
Look, you can't go past your prawns and oysters. They're always staple on everyone's shopping list for every Christmas time. And this year, I think, you know, people probably look for a bit more value, and there's certainly a lot of value in prawns this year. You just have to shop around. Obviously, there was some that would be looking for something like a lobster, and there would be plenty to choose from. The 3 types of lobsters will all be on show. But there's plenty of lovely fish, whether it's your snapper, your kingfish, and of course your salmons, your Atlantic salmon and your New Zealand king salmon. They're high on people's priority as well.
How much seafood are you expecting to sell during the marathon?
Well, look, we say 350 tonnes, and I think that's probably been a little bit conservative. If the numbers that we traded last week, which is a little bit light on, but this morning, I reckon this morning, just on our auction floor alone, which is great for the trade, we would trade over 100 tonnes of products, and that was a little bit unexpected. So it's one of our biggest day by far. So given that and what we expect for the next 18, what is it now? Well, it's 3 hours into 36. So another 33 and a little to go. I'd be very surprised if we don't crack that 350 tonne.
So what's the deal with the auction? What happens there?
Look, it was just one of those things. You know, there was a lot of good catching over the weekend. There was a bit of a light finish last week, so there was a lot to make up. But product everywhere, whether it was farm product, wild caught, just the right mix that we needed for a day like today. So it was very pleasing to see. I've been on the floor for several hours already. Just came off a little while ago, but it's all running like clockwork there now. I wouldn't be far from finishing, and we will go through, as I said, that 100 tonne for the day.
Now, you mentioned prawns earlier, but we know a lot of families are on a budget this year. Is there anything that's especially affordable worth looking at?
Yeah, look, I think there's a lot of value in our prawns this year, but the medium-sized king prawn with some of the shops will carry, you'll be surprised how the value on those. So, look, it helps the shop around. You're not going to get any better here at the fish market. 6 retailers, you won't see a concentration like that anywhere. I would say anywhere in the Southern Hemisphere. So a lot of competition down here. So if you are budget conscious, I think you'll get a good buy down here.
Got any tips for people who want to beat the crowds?
Yes, I guess, look, if you want to hoof it down here now, this is a great time to visit. But if you want something a bit different, come around about 1 a.m. Tomorrow morning between 1 and 4. I'll be around. It's a great time to be. Lots of people around, but it's a nice, weather's a bit cooler. It's a lovely atmosphere. You wouldn't even know it was that time of the morning.
What's the favourite in the Dannon household this year, mate?
Well, little secret, I can tell you. I won't tell you everything because the family might be listening, but they always expect the prawns and oysters, of course, so that'll be plenty. But this year, you know, I kind of like the price of the lobster, so I'm going to spoil them a little bit with lobster, and I'm using some scallops this year as well. So, but there's always smoked salmon on our table, and that's going to be a hit this year as well because it's one of those lovely things that I look forward to.
Good on you, Gus, and Merry Christmas, mate. Thank you.